Benjamin Griffin said, "To oppose corruption in government is the highest obligation of patriotism. Let's all be patriotic citizens by saying no to corruption. Join the EFCC to make Nigeria a better place." Hello and welcome to another edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Muhammad.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
On the program today, Magu calls for citizens' participation in the anti-corruption fight. 1.6 billion naira fraud, court dismisses Dudafa's no-case submission. 10 persons bag 5 years jail term for illegal oil deal. Court convict Estaraba Special Advisor on Revenue Matters for 5.4 million naira fraud. This and more reports will come your way right after this timeout. Acting Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu, has reiterated the Commission's commitment to zero tolerance for corruption at a book launch entitled Corruptionism, the Highest Level of Capitalism. Amina Kawa has the details of what transpired at the event.
According to Magu, corruption was the major woe bedeviling the country, adding that the Commission will stop at nothing in ensuring the melee is reduced to the barest minimum. The EFCC boss gave this assurance at a book launch which held at Eradua Center in Abuja. The book, entitled Corruptionism, the Highest Level of Capitalism, was authored by Aliyu Abutu of the Department of Political Science and International Relations, University of Abuja. Magu, who spoke through Samin Ahmadin, head Enlightenment and Reorientation Unit of the EFCC, said the EFCC believes in community ownership of the fight against corruption, as the Commission alone cannot win the war.
In the EFCC, we believe so much in community ownership of the war against corruption. That is why part of our cardinal objective is to work with youth through schools, colleges, universities, and even the National Youth Service Corps. We have what we call integrity clubs in all these platforms. This is a way of encouraging the youth to buy in to the fight against corruption and support the work we are doing. Also, we want to use this opportunity to assure every Nigerian that the battle against corruption is not ours alone in the EFCC. It is for every citizen of this country to contribute in any little way you can to the fight against corruption so that we can take back our country from the brink of collapse and bring it back to glory.
While congratulating the publisher of the book, the anti-graft czar called on all Nigerians to join the EFCC in its efforts to rid the nation of corruption. Speaking at the event, Head Department of Political Science and International Relations, University of Abuja, Professor Yusuf Ali Zouaka, who represented the Vice-Chancellor, called on Nigerians to support the current administration anti-graft's efforts, stressing that it is the only way to ensure total victory. Highlights of the event was the presentation of Award of Excellence to the EFCC Acting Chairman, Ibrahim Magu. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I said na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out. But we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out. But we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money. Send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day. Better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector. Make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call. We no see. I said nakanka wamu, nakanka wamu.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we ono.
Thank you for that report, Amina. Justice M.B. Idris of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, has dismissed a no-case submission filed by a former senior special assistant to ex-President Goodluck Jonathan on domestic affairs, Wari Pamo Oweyi Dudafa. Rolake Odofinjolayemi has more.
Dudafa is facing trial alongside one Iwejuo Joseph Nna on a 23-count charge bordering on money laundering, failure to declare assets, and conspiracy to conceal proceeds of crime to the tune of over 1.6 billion naira. The defendants were said to have allegedly concealed 1.6 billion naira through a company, Seagate Property Development and Investment Limited, an offence contrary to Section 18, subsection A of the Money Laundering Prohibition Amendment Act 2012 and punishable under Section 17A of the same law. They were also accused of knowingly concealing proceeds of crime through Avalon Global Property Development Company Limited in the sum of 399,470,000 naira, amongst other alleged criminal offences. The defendants had pleaded not guilty to the charges preferred against them, thereby setting the stage for their trial. The prosecution, after presenting witnesses and tendering documents that were admitted in evidence by the court, had closed its case against the defendants on March 16, 2018. However, at the resumed hearing on June 19, 2018, counsel to the first defendant, Boyega Oyewole SAN, told the court that the prosecution had failed to establish a prima facie case against his client. He had also told the court that the first defendant had stated before the court the source and ownership of the monies found in his possession, adding that the owner of the monies should be questioned and not Mr. Dudafa. Also, counsel to the second defendant, Ige Asemudara, had told the court that there was no evidence that his client had committed any of the offences alleged by the prosecution. However, the prosecution counsel, Nnemeka Omewa, had prayed the court to discountenance the no-case submission. He said, and I quote, "The monies were traced to Dudafa's bank account. The monies found are not proportionate to his monthly salary as a public servant, and so he cannot satisfactorily account for the monies." End of quote. The second defendant, Iwejuo Joseph Nna, who was a staff of Heritage Bank PLC, was the one signing for the monies and forging the signature of one Mr. Oluboyega Emmanuel, Omewa had further told the court. In a short ruling on August 6, 2018, Justice Idris held that the defendants would need to explain their involvement in the alleged offence. The judge held, and I quote, "The prosecution called witnesses and tendered evidences that I have carefully examined, and a link might be established between the defendants and the offences. You have a case to answer." End of quote. Justice Idris thereafter adjourned the matter to August 20, 2018 for the defendants to open their defence. Rolake Odofinjolayemi, reporting for the Eagle.
Corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in positions of trust. A public office is a public trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Stay away from corruption. Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. If you notice any act of corruption, please report to the EFCC via info@efccnigeria.org or call 09 904 4751 or 09 904 4752. You can also call 09 904 4753. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Lagos Zonal Office has secured the conviction and sentencing of 10 persons and a vessel, MVPs, for their involvement on an illegal oil deal before Justice Mohammed B. Idris of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos. Amina Kawa completes the story.
The convicts are James Abaton, Wasiu Abdul Owonikoko, Patrick Ame, Johnson Ademola, Felix Otto, Chigozie Oweke, Olusalisu, Jomo Gadagbe, Kule Oba Shahid Rashid Adio, and a vessel, MVPs. They were intercepted about 5 nautical miles off the Lagos Fairway Bow by the Nigerian Navy ship Ikot Abasi on April 4, 2015 on suspicion of illegal dealing in petroleum products and handed over to the EFCC for prosecution. The convicts were subsequently arraigned on July 23, 2015 on a 3-count charge bordering on conspiracy and illegal dealing in petroleum products. In the course of the trial, the prosecution presented witnesses and tendered several documents that were admitted in evidence by the court. Delivering his judgment, Justice Idris held the prosecution had proven beyond reasonable doubt the offense of conspiracy and illegal dealing in petroleum products leveled against the convicts. He said, it is beyond dispute that the prosecution had proven that the convicts loaded AGO aboard the vessel without appropriate license, which they also admitted in the extrajudicial statement. He therefore found them guilty as charged. The convicts were each sentenced to 5 years imprisonment on counts 1 and 2 of the charge and 2 years on count 3. The sentences are to run concurrently. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
A former special advisor on revenue matters to Taraba State government, Joshua Augustine, has been convicted on a 2-count charge bordering on criminal breach of trust, misappropriation and conversion of public funds. Rolake is standing by to tell us what transpired in court on this report and other matters. Over to you, Rolake.
The federal government had in 2012 provided financial assistance to the tune of 400 million naira for the procurement of relief materials for victims of the 2012 flood disaster. 2 committees were set up, to which Augustine was appointed to lead one of them. He was accused to have between October 20th, 2012 and December 29th, 2012 as Secretary of the Procurement Subcommittee A, Northern and Central Zones, dishonestly misappropriated the sum of 4,702,580 naira out of the total sum of 214,795,870 naira. Augustine was first arraigned before Justice Philibus Andator of the Taraba State High Court in March 2016. At the end of the trial, the prosecution presented 5 witnesses and tendered several documents to prove its case against him. Justice Andator, on August 2, 2018, sentenced him to 1 year in prison on count 1 with an option of 100,000 naira as fine, and 6 months on count 2 with an option of 50,000 naira as fine to run concurrently. The trial judge, however, added that, in consideration that the convict has made considerable refund, the court suspends the sentence against the convict with the payment of the outstanding balance of 300,000 naira, which the convict misappropriated as restitution to the government. If he doesn't pay, he goes to prison as the sentence stands. In a related development, the trial of Abdullahi Mohammed, a businessman arraigned before Justice Philibus Andator in June 2018 on a 9-count charge of criminal breach of trust and forgery, has been adjourned to October 30th, 2018 due to the inability of the defense to perfect its appearance. Mohammed was entrusted with grains by one Alhaji Jibrin Maida, but allegedly disposed of the items and diverted the money to personal use. The defense counsel, led by Issa Buba, told the court that he was not in a position to proceed with the case as his brief was just perfected that morning. He said, and I quote, I have also not been able to interview the defendant to prepare for his defense." End of quote. He thus pleaded with the court to extend the interim bail given to his client in order to perfect his bail conditions. Prosecuting counsel Francis Jirbo did not oppose the application, saying that though the application lacks merit, he hoped the defense will learn the right way in the profession. The trial judge thereafter adjourned to October 30th, 2018, noting that as the defendant is not ready to go on and has not been able to perfect his interim bail conditions granted to him, he is to be remanded in the Jalingo prison. Rolake Odofin-Jolaimi, reporting for the Eagle. The trial of 3 officials of the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, Jumai Lawan Ibrahim, Kabir Bello, and Musa Buba Amshi, accused of corrupt receipt of monetary benefits to the tune of 243,067,000 naira, got underway on August 6, 2018, with 3 witnesses testifying. Ibrahim and her co-accused are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on a 6-count charge bordering on criminal conspiracy and abuse of office before Justice Fadawu Umar of the State High Court, Maiduguri, Borno State. Ibrahim, a retired Assistant Director, Public Affairs Directorate of the INEC, in connivance with Bello and Amshi, serving officials of INEC, allegedly conspired to collect slush funds from a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Dizani Alison Madweke, in the build-up to the 2015 presidential elections. Testifying, Muhammad Umar, while being led in evidence as PW1 by counsel to the EFCC, Khalid Sanusi, told the court that the accused persons collected bribe from an NGO that was not registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. Umar, an administrative secretary and account officer of the Jalingo office of INEC, stated that the second defendant, Bello, asked him to come to Fidelity Bank Maiduguri branch with a vehicle to carry money sent by an NGO called West African Election Observers. He further stated that the following morning, Bello called and informed him that the money was disbursed and that he should come and collect Maiduguri Municipal Council's share, which sum, 25 million naira, was collected with a breakdown on how the money was to be shared. When asked how elections are funded by INEC, Umar said elections are funded by the federal government of Nigeria through statutory allocation and donor agencies, adding that donor agencies release funds directly to the INEC account. In his evidence, James Haidema, an operations manager of Fidelity Bank Maiduguri branch, informed the court that on 27th of March 2015, he received an instruction from the head office of Fidelity Bank that some persons were coming to the branch to come and receive cash. He said that he called the head of operations in order for him to identify the names of the people receiving the money, and the head office directed that he should make arrangements to withdraw the cash from the Central Bank of Nigeria because the monies were more than the designated limits. According to him, he brought the sum of 243,067,000 naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria and called the head office, which identified the first and second accused persons. Based on instructions from the head office, he collected Jumai's identity card, but Kabir did not oblige him. However, both Jumai and Kabir signed payment slips and payment receipts. Haidema said that Jumai later came back with the sum of 7 million naira and deposited it in her personal account, adding that the EFCC requested for account opening package, statement of account and certificate of compliance of Jumai, which the bank obliged. Also in his evidence, an operative of the EFCC Maiduguri Zonal Office, Dauda Umar, who testified as PW3, told the court that the office received intelligence reports of a case of money laundering to the tune of 23 billion naira involving Mrs. Dizani Alison Madweke, which sum she allegedly shared through Fidelity Bank across Nigeria. According to him, out of the said sum, 243,067,000 naira was signed and collected by the first and second defendants in Fidelity Bank and was shared at the residence of Musa Buba Amshi, the third defendant. Umar said that on the 20th of April 2016, the first accused was invited and she informed the team that as the state coordinator of Borno State, she was directed by an NGO called West African Election Observers to sign and collect funds from Fidelity Bank Maiduguri for the 2015 presidential elections. Given details on how the money was shared, the PW3 said Jumai received 60 million naira, Bunu Mulima 100 million naira, while PW1 Bello and Amshi received 25 million naira respectively. Thereafter, the case was adjourned. At the resumed hearing on August 7, 2018, the prosecution presented its PW4, Salisu Muhammad Rabiu. Rabiu, an operative of the EFCC, told the court that letters were written to Fidelity Bank and other banks, Corporate Affairs Commission, and INEC. Documents tendered and admitted in evidence include a reply letter from Fidelity Bank to EFCC, Exhibit A, refunds made by the accused as Exhibit B, B1 to 11, the Corporate Affairs Commission reply to EFCC, which shows the NGO was not registered, Exhibit C, and withdrawal instruments of Fidelity Bank as Exhibits E. At this point, Muhammad Umaru, counsel to the first defendant, and Zanna Hamza, representing the second and third defendants, raised objections on the grounds that their clients' statements were obtained by inducement, duress, threats, intimidation, and promise. Though the objection was countered by the prosecution, who said the statements were voluntarily rendered, Justice Umar ordered for trial within trial and adjourned the case for hearing. Rolake Odofinjolaimi, reporting for the Eagle.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, we go fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, we go kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them over to Igbo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we all know.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode of The Eagle. You too can be part of this program by sending your inquiries and suggestions to The Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or Official EFCC ng@gmail.com. You can like our page on facebook.com/Official EFCC or follow us on Twitter @Official EFCC. And of course, you can visit our Instagram page @Official EFCC. To watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Muhammad. Always remember that a public office is a public trust, and do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Goodbye, and God bless Nigeria.